What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. For today's video I'm going to be doing a Wonder Woman trailer breakdown slash review and a breakdown for the Black Adam concept trailer that they dropped, to keep in par with all the videos I've been making recently about the DC fandom event that happened this Saturday. So yeah guys, let's get right into it. The beginning of the trailer opens up with Wonder Woman as like the little girl that she was in the first Wonder Woman, where she's still on Themyscira and they're training. It looks like they have some form of a like an Olympics per se, and she's like the only little girl there competing against all these other warrior women. So I guess like this is gonna be like a big like milestone for her to show that yeah, she's a little girl, but she can compete with all these women with these difficult like obstacles and events and all that. So it shows like a true testament to her strength. As that part of the trailer goes through, it transitions between her as being a little girl to an adult Wonder Woman running in the streets, and then she like lassos. She like winds up her lasso and throws it, or like reaches out into the air, and then essentially like takes flight.
The time will come, Diana.
But I'm kind of confused with the mechanics of this, because it almost looks as though she's like latching onto like the clouds or something, because it's almost like she lassos it and then it like pulls her with her. So I really want to know, like once the movie comes out, what is she lassoing to, or is she actually taking flight? Like I know some people have said that, oh, maybe she's lassoing onto the invisible jet from the comics and, you know, like the cartoons and stuff. But yeah, and then even further into the trailer, she like lassos onto like bolts of lightning.
Everything will be different.
So it's like, you know, what's the mechanics of this, or is that just like part of her powers that we didn't know she even had in the first place? The next scene cuts to Maxwell Lord, who I'm considering probably the main villain of the movie. He is giving like a political campaign speech. He's saying like, citizens of the world, anything that you desire, all your deepest wishes, I can grant you them.
I'm here to change your life.
Anything you want, anything you dream of, you can have.
So I'm not sure if he has some type of powers, or if he has some type of like artifact that grants him powers or whatever it is. But I think what he's trying to do is he wants everyone to grant him their wishes. He gives them what they want, and then they vote for him so that he can become some powerful political figure, whether it be in the United States or wherever this movie is supposed to be taking place, that he is trying to gain the upper hand in the power circle. And it cuts to Diana, or Wonder Woman, whatever you want to call her, meeting Steve Trevor for the first time since he supposedly died in the first Wonder Woman movie. And you can tell it's like shocking to her and shocking to Steve Trevor, because he says, you look like you've seen a ghost, and really she witnessed him die in that plane crash in the events of the first movie. So what I'm thinking is her biggest desire is granted to her, which is getting to see or live with Steve Trevor again. The next scene cuts over to Barbara Minerva. It's a little voiceover. She's a character who's going to end up being probably the sideline villain, Cheetah, or whatever you want to call her, maybe the main villain. But she says, you know, I don't want to be like any regular person. I want to be the main apex predator. So I'm assuming that's her wish to Maxwell Lord.
I don't want to be like anyone. I want to be an apex predator.
For it to be granted to her, gain the powers. And I'm thinking the way she's going to gain her powers is how Wonder Woman wishes for Steve Trevor to come back. It's going to siphon some of her power, some of her strength level, and essentially just channel it into Barbara Minerva, her opposition. And that's how she becomes super fast, super strong, basically can go toe-to-toe with Wonder Woman throughout the movie. The next scene cuts over to Wonder Woman in some form of like a political building, what could be essentially maybe the White House if Maxwell Lord does become president through his political campaign. And it looks like to me that this is the first time that we will see Wonder Woman fight Barbara Minerva.
I've always had everything, while people like me have had nothing. Well, now it's my turn.
Cheetah. She's not in her cheetah uniform yet. She is wearing like, you know, some snake prints, leopard prints, all that jazz to kind of give her that look without being a CGI character yet. But you can tell Wonder Woman's weak because she does her like gauntlet move that she did in the first movie, as well as in Batman vs Superman, to kind of like deflect Doomsday. So it was obviously like one of her signature moves. She has a lot of strength behind that move, and Barbara Minerva just kind of like corkscrews right through her, right through the like blast effect, and she's able to attack her.
Get used to it.
So you can clearly see Wonder Woman isn't as strong as she has been in the previous movies, or even in like the past of her events. So somehow she's losing her strength, and it could or could not be because of her relationship with Steve Trevor again. Maybe he's siphoning off her energy, or she's just emotionally like not in the right place because he's back after all this time. And then it cuts to like the scene that we saw in the first trailer, the like desert highway scene where the car, like the big truck, flips over, like in the Dark Knight with the Joker and Batman or whatever. And in the scene, it cuts to like another portion of that, what looks to be in that scene, where she's trying to like separate two cars, kind of like push them apart or something. And she is like mad struggling. She does not have the strength that she used to have. It was basically like all of her power level, where she was able to like do to basically display these great feats of strength. She no longer has it. And if this is after the events of the fight with Barbara Minerva in the White House, then she might be onto it like, okay, how the hell am I losing all my strength? And this girl's becoming so strong when she was just a regular human being. Like, something's going on. I gotta get down to this. I gotta get to the bottom of this, and I gotta take care of what the hell's going on here. Then the next scene, it cuts back to the White House, or whatever you want to call it. We'll call it the White House for the sake of this video. And Wonder Woman tries to lasso Barbara Minerva, and she kind of like catches it around her wrist, pulls her in, and then like punches her like a Superman punch or whatever. And it's like a really smooth transition from that lassoing effect into like what looks to be like maybe the final boss fight, or like the climax of the movie, the Act 3 or whatever you want to call it. And it shows Cheetah in her final form, where she actually is like a human cheetah, like what you would think of a werewolf, like a were-cheetah kind of deal. And Wonder Woman's shocked. She's like, how did this happen to you? What is going on? Like, let me get down to this. And I almost feel like at the end of the fight, or whatever ends up happening, like, I don't think Wonder Woman will essentially kill off Cheetah. I think Wonder Woman's too good of like a hero, too good of a person to want to just like give up on somebody like that, especially if in the movie you see like a progression of friendship, and somehow like it seems like maybe they lost their way, and Wonder Woman doesn't want to give up on an old friend or whatever. But yeah, she's in this final fight. They look to be at like the satellite facility where Maxwell Lord is doing his broadcasting to reach the whole world, so that all of them who make their wishes, he can grant them, and then he can somehow siphon energy or power or whatever it is that he ends up doing back at this facility. And this is the scene where Wonder Woman has her full golden comic book armor, and I think she has it for two reasons. One, for the comic book fans who are like, oh damn, you know, they did the comic book accurate costume, whatever. And two, I think at this point in the movie, she's gonna be at her weakest, or if not, like making her way back up from being at her weakest. And in order to fight against Cheetah, she needs this like costume or this armor to protect her, because right now, the way it's looking, Cheetah can easily overpower her, and without this armor, it's not gonna be a fair fight. Cheetah will basically go in there, claw her, kill her, whatever it is, and the fight will be over. So I'm excited. I feel like this scene is gonna be like really demonstrate her acrobatic abilities and, you know, her combat skills.
Barbara, what did you do?
Everything that, you know, we didn't necessarily quite get in the first movie, because when she fought Ares, she essentially just like absorbed all her power and then somehow just like let it go. It almost looked like the Phoenix Force from the X-Men movies, like X-Men Dark Phoenix or whatever. But yeah, guys, that was it. That was the Wonder Woman trailer. I will say I wasn't too hyped about this as much as I was hyped about the other stuff, considering we've already known about this movie. We've already seen some footage. Everything else that they released at the DC fandom, it was all brand new to me. I didn't know about the Batman. I didn't know about the games that they came out with. I didn't know about the Suicide Squad. Like, there was no news, no pictures, no trailers, nothing to let us know about those movies. So I will say I was more excited for those. Yeah, overall I'm still excited for this movie. I really hope that we can, you know, finally make it back into the theaters sometime soon. I really miss going to the theaters, watching my movie, getting my fiance some popcorn, and just, you know, chilling. So yeah, let me know, guys. Let me know what you think of Wonder Woman. What are you excited about for this movie? What do you want to see if they do a third movie, the trilogy? And keep a lookout for my other videos. I will be doing one more video for the DC Fandom Week for the Snyder Cut. So keep an eye out for that. What's up, guys? For the back half of this video, I wanted to transition from talking about Wonder Woman into the Black Adam trailer that they dropped. It was all concept art. They haven't filmed anything yet, so it might look very different once it finally hits the big screen. But overall, sometimes concept art does make it into the big screen. It really does, like, kind of pave the way for the movie and how it wants to be scripted, the style, and, you know, the character design and all that. So I don't think it's fair to kind of neglect concept trailers. But yeah, for this one, I'll just be talking about what they said and what they show in the concept trailer, and basically the hype that there is for Black Adam. Because for me personally, I've been waiting for a good Black Adam movie. Well, there's never been one, but I've been waiting for The Rock to really take this on. I really like the Rock as a person, as a character. I think I got a lot of respect for the dude. And if you throw his ass in a superhero movie, I think he will definitely give the fans what we all want. So let's get right into it. So the trailer opens up with The Rock. It's all voiceover and, like I said, concept art. But he says, you know, like, he's been waiting to play this role for a long time. And like on some of his IG stories that I've seen, I'm pretty sure he said that like he was cast as Black Adam like damn near 8 years ago. Like, they said, hey, we're gonna make a Black Adam movie at some point. Are you down? He said, yes, I'm in. And it's been 8 years later. Still never got the movie. He's still, you know, he's still totally down to play the role. But we're finally gonna get it within the next, I'd say, maybe 2 years, considering you know, they haven't started filming yet, and, you know, with the pandemic and everything, some of the big studios aren't allowed to film yet. So this is basically the first little taste of the movie that we will get in the next couple of years. He says, this is Black Adam, and then it cuts open to the Black Adam like title, or the Black Adam like logo, and it's pretty sick.
This is Black Adam.
Then it pans over to some more concept art of Kahndaq, which is like the mythical location of where he is.
5,000 years ago, Kahndaq was a melting pot of cultures, wealth, power, and magic.
And it's almost like, it almost reminds me of like what I could think of as like an ancient, like Wakanda, right? It's like a separated tribe, like that not a lot of outsiders have contact to, but they have like a very secretive power source, like how Wakanda have vibranium. Wakanda has like magic and like sorcery and all that. So this is like what I would assume from just like my first glance, like the DC versions of like a Wakanda. But yeah, he says that, you know, everyone was slaves, and there was just a bad environment to live in due to like slavery, poverty, and, you know, all that kind of stuff. So then it pans over to The Rock. He's like one of the slaves in Kahndaq. He's all chained up. He has chains all over him, essentially getting whipped to do slave work. And then he says, you know, Kahndaq needed a hero, but instead they got me.
Yet most of us had nothing, except for the chains around our necks. Kahndaq needed a hero. Instead, they got me.
So what I'm thinking here, or like if they show how he became Black Adam and how he got his powers, I think he like prayed to Shazam, the wizard who gives the power out, for some type of assistance, some type of help. Shazam grants him the powers of Shazam so that he can, you know, fly. He can have all the strength, essentially like the same powers that the character Shazam has, to save Kahndaq and like end slavery, end the poverty. But instead he just goes in there and just fucks shit up, like, for lack of better words. I think he really just is tired of it, and he pulls a Daenerys Targaryen on that ass. And just burns the whole city down, destroys everything so that he can build it brand new how he wants it. Then it skips over to the next part of the trailer, and he says, due to what he did to Kahndaq, whether it be like cause a revolution, essentially completely destroy it, or whatever he ended up doing, he was punished for it. The Grand Wizard, Shazam, and the other powerful 7 wizards, they essentially like punished him, trapped him, exiled him, and then he says, 5,000 years later, I'm back.
I did what needed to be done, and they imprisoned me for it. Now, 5,000 years later, I'm free.
And I'm back with a vengeance. I'm gonna take care of, and I'm gonna finish off the people who punished me for doing what needed to be done. Basically, it's reckoning time. Alright, then we move over to the final portion of the trailer, and it shows Black Adam sitting on like his throne.
And I give you my word. No one will ever stop me again.
It's very much reminds me of Game of Thrones. Like, he essentially is like the Daenerys Targaryen of this universe. He will stop at nothing to get on the throne, and he will rewrite the world how he wants it and how he how he believes the world should be. And then it shows like the heroes, or whatever you want to call them, in this movie, that are going to be the ones that are going to try to stop him. And it is the Justice Society. So Dr. Fate.
Dr. Fate.
Atom Smasher is in there.
An Atom Smasher.
Hawkman.
There are some who think I need help. Hawkman.
And Cyclone.
Cyclone.
So So they're going to be essentially the people who team up to try to take him out. And since this is his movie, and you know, we want to highlight him as like his story, I feel like they're going to do it like kind of like the Thanos route, where Thanos was like the hero of his own story. So although Hawkman and those guys are like on the good side trying to stop Black Adam from committing the crimes that he's doing and doing everything that he needs to do, Black Adam has his motive, and nothing's going to stop him. Nothing's going to get in the way of fighting for what he believes in, and he only fights for what he believes in. He takes no commands from anyone.
Well, I'm going to teach them that the only beliefs I fight for are mine. Welcome to Truth, Justice, and the Black Adam Way.
So, like I said, it was just a concept trailer, but it's better than nothing. I mean, shit, it's been 8 years, and this is the first time they finally give us some type of information, some type of visuals of what the movie might look like, and I'm excited. I mean, I'm so excited to see Dr. Fate in there. You know, he's essentially the DC version of Doctor Strange, so it's really cool to see a magician in there and see how his powers will go against Black Adam's. Hawkman, a very OG character from like the comics and the Justice League animated series, like him and Hawkgirl. So I'd be interested to see if they introduce a Hawkgirl as well. But based on this concept trailer versus the trailer, the actual Wonder Woman trailer, I'm actually more hyped for this because, you know, like I said, I love The Rock. I think he's a good guy. I think he's going to play the role to the best of his capability, and I'm hoping that it's not just going to be a one-off. I think if The Rock's fan base and the DC fan base come together and they really support this movie and they go out and, you know, watch it multiple times or whatever the case may be, I think he'd be down to do like a trilogy somehow, and I can honestly see him being like the next Justice League villain. I feel like he is strong enough. He's definitely OP. And yeah, I'm just excited to see what they do with the movie. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know which trailer you're most excited about, Wonder Woman or Black Adam, and we'll just keep the ball rolling, guys. I mean, we finally got some new content to talk about, and I'm very excited to get to share with you guys. You know, so I don't have to just ramble about old shit. We get to talk about new stuff that will be coming out, and you know, once it finally comes out, then we'll have more to talk about on our reviews on how we thought the movies were, did they meet our expectations, and all that. So thank you so much for sticking with us. Have a good one. Take care.